Hello, it's Rob, and welcome to the next episode of Horizons, and I hope you enjoyed the first episode. And today I would like to show you the second theme area more in detail. This area is definitely smaller than the lagoon land, and here we also find a large self-built constructed birdhouse inspired by the typical English botanical houses, the aviary for the Thanatos dragon. And before I go into more detail about this eye-catcher, I will show you the remaining area around it and give you some information in advance. And I want to give each theme area its own name, and it's inspired by the novel from Jurassic Park with the names of the different habitats like the sauropod swamps, the carnivore country or the stegosaurus source. And I decided on Pterosaurus peak here, and in short I call it Ptero peak. And yeah, that was quicker to write or constructed with the benches for the laddering banner. And we find this laddering banner on a small lake with subtle lighting, and you can also look on a mountain with this lake from two sides and catch the glimpse of the laddering banner. And I can remember very well when I started this area and I had no idea what I wanted to build here. And I had various ideas for themed areas for flying reptiles. But I got tired about the time of the process and I was lazy to try out new things. And yeah, I think you can understand me with this problem. Sometimes we reach a point in the process and we get lost with ideas and so on, and I hadn't longer want to construct any spectacular glitches or attractions here, and only the Thanatos dragon house in this hilly environment here would be nice and eye-catcher enough so forth. And in addition, the game often crashed and I approached the creation of Ptero Peak spontaneously. I often thought about building a large birdhouse, and I was familiar with the items from the various mods, and I took the time to experiment with the concrete walls from the Indominus Rex habitat and other objects. And I worked for a long time on the front of the birdhouse, looking at whether I could create windows so that the guests could look in like a real life into this house, and alternately they could use the usual galleries on the sides of the building then later and have a real and vanilla view to the Thanatos dragon. I have to admit, I felt like a newbie when building this giant house, and I had a feeling that I was building architectural things like this with items for the first time. It was so, oh my god, what I'm doing here, I don't know. But I was persistent and excited to see what I could achieve here. And piece by piece I designed the facade of this building and then slowly built the side walls, and then the inspiration came with the botanical house and with these wonderful roofs that I have. And I like the design of old English buildings, and the greenhouses in particular is so beautiful. And I'm experimenting a bit with what I can do with the standard aviary, whether I can use it as a roof, and I'm slowly feeling my way forward here with this huge building. And I was unsure whether I would keep this construction or build something completely new. I wasn't sure in this moment. But yeah, I didn't have a fully developed plan for the roof yet, as in the past, but I wanted to keep trying it out. And in the meantime, I adjusted the terrain and added a few height differences in Ptero Peak and create the rest of the area. I thought about where I could place the vanilla aviaries and distributed them in different heights and in various sizes. And so a concept for this theme area slowly emerged, and I placed my first paths in a curved shape around the Thanatos dragon house and kept adjusting the terrain. And after that, everything happened very fast and everything comes together very quickly in my building process. But I knew I still had to take care of the roof of the house, and then a solution had to be found, and I was also unsure whether the pterosaurs could even fly under the aviary's hitbox. Questions about questions. But I tested it and it worked for the first. And I just had to place an invisible aviary also inside of the big birdhouse, otherwise the pterosaurs would fly out of the building, and unfortunately many items here from the mods and so on have no hitbox in the vertical axis, and therefore I had to cheat with the invisible aviary mod, and so it was safe for the pterosaurs to fly inside of this big building. And after that I adapted the edges of the roof, but here too most of the items have no visible bottom, and the birdhouse looks only closed with the items from above or from the side, not from under this. You can see it later in this episode. And I also didn't want to use any containers from the decoration menu or something like that. I'm telling you, I'm not the heaviest guy when it comes to modding and find very good solutions. And I'm sure other modders would have found a better answer for this problem with the roof. And I definitely knew who I wanted to dedicate this wonderful birdhouse to, and there's a great mod for the Thanators also, where they have different sizes of this pterosaur. It's totally amazing. You can see it in the end of the episode. And I thought, this is brilliant, this mod. I like it, I need it, and it is perfect for this themed area here. And afterwards, I continued decorating and built a square in front of the Thanatos Dragon House and placed the Hyperloop station in opposite, and so the guests have the wow factor right in front of their eyes when entering this themed area. And then I further adapted these paths, lined it with wooden lower fences because I wanted to make this area look a little bit more different to the other areas. And I mean, we have here a few lakes, picnic benches and nice seating opportunities everywhere, small water features and a waterfall too. Into the lake, you see it later. And voila, my last corner was done and I was able to concentrate on the various details. And I had a feeling that this area was visually different from the other 3 areas, and this is the goal in this park, to create 4 different worlds with the possibilities that this game offers and what is possible with the mods. But yeah, okay my friends, let's look at the area more closely, and enough of my introduction here. Sorry I'm talking so much, but you know me. Okay, then let's start. Alrighty, so we start here at the front of the entrance plaza, and to the right and to the left we find various amenities for the guests, and in the front of the big attraction there's a fountain with pterosaur statues, as you can see. And at the front I tried to build some ornaments on the facade, but I was a bit uncreative and I only placed a small Jurassic Park wall here, what we have official in-game with the Thanatos Dragon statues in combination. And otherwise we have large windows, so also on the left and on the right side here on the front, where the guests can catch a glimpse of this special pterosaur. And here we also find my first attempt at creating this lettering with benches, and you can read it, it's the Thanatos Dragon, and I could certainly have put more effort into it, but intentionally made it a little bit look more battered. This has a certain charm, so forth, and not everything has to look perfect or what, well, something like that. You know what I mean? I think it's fine. Yeah. So we can go right in this direction here, around this big house, and go up there here on this path. So then let's go, and from the left side it goes a bit steeper up to the first vanilla aviary. And here we can find a very nice dinosaur with an interesting combination with a little wow factor. Oh, cool, it looks more tropical here inside, and yeah, why not? Why not? For the okay. This is a point that I'm thinking about. Is the recording time not so good? What is wrong with me? Can I speak English? I don't know. I mean, we see here the aviary for the Tropteognathus. I think I cannot pronounce this in English. This is very complicated for me. Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry guys. So after this here, then we can go along the outside of the Thanatos Dragon House, and then we have here official viewing gallery for the guest. And After there, you can see is the road again to the other part of this themed area here. And then we come to the next area here, where you can walk down to the right. And here you can basically walk along the path here on this side as an employee to the entrance area. To the entrance, I mean, what's wrong with me? I'm so stupid when I record something and I try to speak free English, but I find it a little bit funny, and yeah, why not? This is my third try to record this and telling you what you can see here, but okay, I repeat myself here. So this is the employee path with the entrance to this on the backside from the Thanatos Dragon, and you can see that there's the employee entrance. Oh god, yeah. Okay. Guys, I don't know what's happened with me. I think my brain is a pumpkin soup. With you. And as you can see, also here there's a little lake with a lot of rocks, and so it's a little bit covered, but not completely covered. But yeah, okay, stop with talking here about. And here on the other side, we can also go left on this path, and then we pass a few amenities again, and then we come to the other aviary. And here we can see the Geostern Barrier. And yeah, it was important that all the paths here in this themed area come together again, and is decorated with the lower wooden fence and rocks and plants and so on. I think the atmosphere here overall in the corner with the larger artificial lake and the water features is very inviting and invites guests to walk or sit down here for a while and chill out a little bit. Yeah, and then we can look at the other aviary, and then we'll go back along the path over here and along the artificial lake, what you can see here. But yeah, so I think it's really nice that we can see over from both sides, and you don't have to fill every free space like this here with enclosures for dinosaurs or put countless amenities for guests. It's also important to leave a little bit space for scenery or landscaping, and gardens and lakes or small forests are always a welcome opportunity to decorate the open spaces in the park. And such areas like this here are also need this gap filler, and I think in big parks it is very important to have quiet zones for the guests to relax a little bit after an attraction and to clear their minds before looking at the next enclosure and so on. And I think it's really beautiful how the rocks blend into the landscape, also here from the Alpine map with the Alpine rocks in combination. I also liked it. It looks so mossy. I like the Alpine rocks. It is one of my favorite rocks in this game. And yeah, I think everyone has their own style when it comes to placing rocks, but I can only remind everyone that it's important to distribute the rocks in the park in a well-ordered manner, and to ensure that they are rotated relatively well so that they blended in well with the terrain. It's also important to mix the rocks from different biomes. Okay, I haven't done that much myself here in this section. I've mostly just decorated everything thematically here with two rocks from the temperate and the alpine here in this park. But in general, it's always very important to make sure that you mix the vegetation and the rocks well together, depending on what you're building. And you should really take the time, please, to place the rocks well so that they look more integrated into the landscape. Yeah, so it looks more realistically. Yeah, sorry, today is not my best time to record and talking in English, but yeah, forgive me, please. So, over here we have a few other options for the guest to look over the lake, and I like these little details also in this park. But before I talk a little bit more about this, we have here a little standalone aviary for the Barabardactylus, and I think it looks cute, and the size of the area fits with this dinosaur, also with the flying reptile, not a dinosaur, I know, but yeah. And after the little view to the Barabardactylus, then we come back to the rest of the round tour here. So, array. Then let's move on here, and I like these little details in the park in general, when you can look out over the landscape, like in this case here, a lake, and yeah, forget a little bit of time for a bit, and that's what theme parks have to give them. Yeah, I think we have to take a break from our daily business life, and we want to be transported to a completely different world when we enter a themed area or attraction park or a Jurassic World, and be fascinated by the attractions. In this case here with dinosaurs, but we need an interesting landscape, and we want to feel a little bit like we are in a fairy tale, we are in a themed area, and it looks very interesting and not something like similar at our home or where we stay. And we feel a little bit transported to another world. Okay, enough with romantical words or stupid words about this. Then we have the last two aviaries over here, as you can see, and then we come back to the Thanatos Dragon House, and then yeah, let's move on here forward, and then we come to a beautiful viewing terrace over here on the other side of the lake, where guests can take your time, drink a drink or eat a burger, and just sit here and lose the track of time. You can also see the lettering banner. This is installed over the lake, and if you are bored, you can go up to the viewing platform here in the near and look into the green lush jungle and see fascinating colorful flying reptiles. And then let's take a closer look, and then we move again. Okie dokie. So, and last but not least, the aviary for the Pteranodon, and it's between two small mountains. And here I also try to adapt the vegetation differently so that it looks a little bit more different from the other aviaries. And here we find the famous Pteranodon. It's a very great flying reptile, and as you can see, I also placed here on the paths various banners, and I thought that could be a good moment to catch a glimpse into the birdcage, as unfortunately there are no viewing galleries, only the possibility of being in the middle of the enclosure is a viewing dome, and you can enter this and see the wonderful flying reptiles around you. So then we enjoy a little bit the Pteranodon, and then we go to the eye catcher. So, enough with the vanilla areas. So we went all the way around of the area here from Ptero Peak, and you can see the area is not huge, but it has a lot of beautiful details, and there are lots of small beautiful differences in height, and no matter where you stand, you always have a new perspective. And this was one of my important things to create this here. And finally, we will go into the main attraction and have a better, closer look to the Thanatos Dragon. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to get into this house with the camera, sometimes because it is complicated here with the different hitboxes of all the objects, but it is still possible. And let's watch the Thanatos Dragon a little bit here And then we can see that the flying reptile has enough space to fly in here, and the 3 different sizes are really cool of this mod, and I linked them also under the video if you're interested to trying out this mod. And I kept the decoration and design of the enclosure relatively simple and straightforward, because at a certain point it's get a little bit difficult, because I design everything here after the roof, and I could have decorated everything in here before I put the roof on it, but I think, yeah, it's okay. It's important that we can see the Thanatos dragon very well from the viewing galleries and from the glass windows. And as I said, I also placed a lot of rocks here, and this gives us also the option of having sitting Thanatos dragons in front of the glass windows or from the on the viewing galleries, and we can also see the viewing galleries. And this gives us the option to having the flying reptile sitting in front of the glass windows or from the viewing galleries. And unfortunately, I show you this here. You can see here the roof from down here, but I already said that most of the objects unfortunately don't have a proper base when you lift them up, and in the end it doesn't really matter, because it was important for me that I managed to construct this building incomplete, and I think it looks beautiful. And I think most of the people really like it, and I got a lot of very cool feedback about this building, and I hope I was able to give you a good and detailed insight into the second themed area, and I'm already looking forward to presenting the next area next week. And then we move on to the herbivore section. And guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you like this here, and give me a comment on a like. Tell me what do you like about this themed area or not. And thank you, have a nice rest of the week, and we see us very soon. And on this point I say bye bye.